Shannon Sharpe, I am about to give the man that you idolize, that you hero worship, and that man's coach a huge compliment for once.
Yeah.
Because I love the way Ty Lue and LeBron James, his co-coach, co-head coach.
Stop it, Skip.
I love how they approach the playoffs because they just say, heck with minutes, just whatever it takes, just do it.
Right.
And Ty Lue is exactly right. LeBron played high minutes against the Pacers, and it benefited him because now he's playing no minutes because you say he's in Cabo San Lucas.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, him and
Family,
Savannah. Yeah,
they're off. He went Tony Romo on the Cavaliers, right?
Will you stop mentioning Tony Romo's name and LeBron James's?
So I loved that last line that we heard from Ty Lue. Some teams should have played some guys more minutes, and it would have been a different series. He didn't refer by name to any some guy and some team.
Who was he talking about?
I'm just guessing he's talking about Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who just lost to the Houston Rockets in 5 games. And just to reiterate, Oklahoma City with Russell Westbrook on the court was a plus 15 in all 5 games. That's pretty good. That means you could maybe be winning those games, right?
Yeah.
And when he was off the floor, they were on minus 58, which means you lost in 5 games, correct?
Yep.
So when Russell Westbrook took his customary rest that he always takes late third, early fourth quarter in the last 3 losses, what happened, Shannon Sharpe? My research tells me that they got outscored in those 3 rest periods 37-11 and lost big leads and lost flow and lost momentum and effectively blew the series when he was resting. Okay. So I see rest. We always argue about rest. I see all different kinds of rests in the NBA. Let's just be clear about this. There's early season rest where you just say, from October on, nobody on this team, this is what Greg Popovich does, nobody's going to play more than 30 minutes a night. That's long-term, season-long rest, okay? I'm pretty good with that. There's back-to-back rest that LeBron James at age 32. Seems like he's 38, but every once in a while in a back-to-back.
Like 28.
Okay, fine. But maybe in a back-to-back situation in January, you don't play the road back-to-back game. You just take a whole game off. I'm pretty good with that. Then there's end-of-season rest where Greg Popovich just takes his foot completely off the gas and nobody plays for the last 2 weeks, and I despise that kind of rest. And then there's customary rest where you build into each game after game after game. Oh, with 2 minutes left in the third quarter, you're going to come over here and sit with me, and I'm going to keep you over here maybe 3 minutes into the fourth quarter before you go back in. Maybe it works during the year, but it doesn't work in the playoffs. I've been covering the NBA for a long, long, long time, back to my days at the LA Times here in Los Angeles. Before Magic was a Los Angeles Laker, I'm covering the Lakers. It was Kareem's Lakers. And nobody in those days, and then in the Magic Bird days or the Michael days, nobody ever talked about rest, especially in the playoffs. Was it ever an issue? When are you going to go out and take your customary? No, you just didn't do it. If you had to play 48, you just played 48. If you had to play 2 overtimes, you just played all the way through. Because it's the playoffs, and pretty soon you're going to have a whole off season to go to Cabo and play golf or whatever you want to do.
He won't want to go to Cabo. He got that yacht parked in the south of France.
Whatever. Okay, that's fine. But the point is that they blew this because they had Houston on the ropes game after game after game. It was like clockwork, and you let them off the ropes. And then to your point, Russell would come back in frustrated and angry, having sat too long and lost his flow and even, he kind of cooled off literally and figuratively, and then he just goes complete hero ball crazy, out of control, forcing shots, forcing passes that aren't there, and he comes completely apart as his team came more and more apart, and Houston just took over all 3 of the last 3 losses, and it's over in 5. So can Russ rest now? Yeah, he's got a lot of time to rest. What's he doing resting? And again, I'm saying if he co-signed on the rest, I'll blame him too. But whoever was at fault here, whoever wanted to rest him on schedule each game, made a huge mistake. And Ty Lue, between the lines, is taking a shot, well-deserved shot, at the Thunder for their plan of resting him. And I love how they play LeBron, which is they just play him.
See, Skip, the thing is, and I think this goes back to, in a lot of older players, it doesn't matter the sport, football, basketball, baseball, they look and say, back in my time, we didn't do this. But the players now have a better understanding of their body. And what they do is that the way they train, the way they eat, the way they take care of themselves, not only are they able to play longer, they're able to play better longer. See, the thing is what LeBron has figured out, he says, would I rather have rest or wins? He values wins more than rest. But here's the thing with rest and playing. Do your play suffer if you play these extended minutes? Russell was gassed playing 38 minutes. Do you actually really believe he could have played 43 and 44 when he's collapsing in the fourth quarter? No, he couldn't, Skip, because he hasn't
How do you know that?
Skip,
But you build it into his head psychologically, you need to rest. And after a while, the mind believes what data you put in it.
How long has he been playing like this? He's been playing his whole career. LeBron has been playing basically max minutes his whole career.
Yep.
So he's used to playing like this. His production, his effectiveness does not fall off when he plays extended minutes. Skip, you saw, even though he took a break a minute and a half into the late in the third, in the first 2 to 3 minutes of the fourth, he still suffered in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
so what makes you...
Your cause and effect doesn't, 2 plus 2 don't equal 4, because you're saying that after he rested, then he got tired. I'm
saying he was tired to begin with.
I don't think so.
Explain his fourth quarter collapse.
I just did to you, and I've been doing it for 2 days. He has to sit and watch his helpless teammates fall apart while he's taking his customary rest that they've already plotted out for 4 or 5 minutes of this stretch. And he sits there and he gets angry at everybody, at himself, at them, at his coach, and he goes out and plays completely out of control. The other day in the third quarter, he scored 20 points. It wasn't energy that was his problem in the fourth quarter. It was too much energy. He was trying too hard in the fourth quarter.
Why? If you can play 48 minutes, so it doesn't matter. I thought you're supposed to play hard all the time.
I know, but he's taking it up a notch.
Okay. Well, keep it up.
It's not good.
Well, keep it up.
Okay.
You told me yesterday in the fourth quarter that Russell showed signs of being gassed, of being exhausted. That's what you said. I wrote it down.
No, in the third quarter he did, and then he took his rest. But I'm just saying in Game 5, you just play through.
So let me
I said you needed to play on fumes in the fourth quarter. You might as well just stay out there and suck it up and reach down and just say, well, what if they'd been able to hold on to a 12-point lead and he takes no rest? You don't think you could, if he'd stayed out there, they couldn't hold on to a 12-point lead? I think they could.
So you have to look at it. LeBron James led the NBA in minutes played,
He did.
37.8.
Which I think that's lunacy, but that's just me.
He's leading the NBA in playoff minutes played with 43.8, so that's up 6 minutes.
That worked.
But think about this, Skip. Over the last 4 games of the finals last year, he averaged playing 44 minutes. LeBron has been playing max minutes basically his whole career. So he's used to this, Skip. If you're used to doing something, you're more apt to be able to continue to do it. You're asking Russell to go to uncharted territory. You're asking him to go into waters he's never been before.
So you're telling me LeBron James is in better shape than Russell Westbrook? I find that hard to believe. I'm sorry, because Russell has to play. I'm not saying he plays harder.
He does.
Okay, he does. He plays with more energy. He expends more energy than LeBron does.
Yes.
Well, just keep expending. It's Game 5. You got the whole offseason to rest.
But here's the thing. Watch LeBron. If LeBron scores somewhere between 18 and 22 points at the half, come third quarter, he let Kyrie do the heavy lifting, or he'll let Kevin Love do the heavy lifting. Westbrook doesn't have that luxury. He doesn't have a guy that can go get him 50 if he needs. He doesn't have a guy that can go get him 20 and 20 rebounds if he needs. So he has to do that. There's no way Russell Westbrook, with the way he plays, can play the minutes that LeBron played in the finals, in the playoffs. He can't play 43.8 minutes playing like that. There's no way.